Fellow traders, 'tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Friday, December the 12th. The year's 2025. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. As always, have risk management in place so you don't lose more than you're willing to lose on a single trade or during a single trading session, or for the week, for the month, for the year, for that matter. So for the week, the dashboard says all the weekly open gaps have filled. As you can see, we are in the upper wick zone of the previous week. We actually broke through that weekly high, so we have higher highs, higher lows, trending up. Notice that's 1, 2, actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3 candles in a row, higher highs, higher lows. But I really don't like to use the word trend because, trends only exist in the mind of the trader. As you can see here, we came down, we touched the high of the opening range for the week, and then we bounced off it. We have lower lows, lower highs on the daily candle, though, right here. You can see that opening range for the week. And just in case you're tuning in for the first time, you might be wondering, here's the opening range for the year, way down here. For the month and for the year, you can see here we are 154 pips over the monthly open, 861 over the yearly. We're 417 off the yearly high, 66 off the monthly high, which is the same as the weekly high. And for the close above the low, right now we're 1,272 pips on the year, 192 on the month, and 85 on the week. Oh, in case somebody wants to know, that's an old 24. I call it the multi uh, time frame GPS, or actually it was multi-frequency. Some people call them frequencies, chart periods, or time frames. There was an inside bar 7 weeks ago. We're within that range. You can see right here. We're above the daily inside bar range that happened 15 days ago, and the monthly happened 23 months ago. Lots of inside bar action here, according to the dashboard. Range, the pound anemic at 58 pips. Euro New Zealand coming in strong at 112, followed by the Euro Australian. Something about those down under currencies have been having a lot of pip movement. I'm not sure why. Taking a look at the buy zone, there's a couple of buy triggers, some short triggers. Looks like they all paid off, unless you were trying to be greedy. It was funny today, Walmart and I were trading earlier, a couple hours or so ago, and we were in a trade, and I think we were up 2 or 3 pips, but we were targeting, like, maybe it was a short. I think it was 2 pips lower. And the next thing you know, it bounced against us. And I said, Walmart, you know, are we being greedy? Or are we being patient? He goes, both. It's kind of funny when you think about it. It's, when do you take the pit? When do you take when do you take your profit? And the thing is, taking profit, a couple of things can happen after the trade that you take profit. It could continue to go in your direction, or it could go in the opposite direction. Now, there was one trade where there was a one ball, and I got out because that's one of my rules. You see that one ball, it's pushing, it stops. It's like, pretty much get out. Sometimes, if you wait to the end of the candle, you might get more, and then sometimes that next candle opens and drops against you 2 pips. So, I just take it. But In that case, I was really happy because as soon as I got out, it ran up about three pips. And I said, Walmart, you get out? He's like, no, he was still in the trade. I said, okay, I'll jump back in with you. So the thing is, once again, when you get out of a trade, the trade's over. There's nothing more for you to do. But if you start thinking about it and dwelling on it and mulling it over and thinking, oh, I should have done this, I should have stayed in, blah, 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 you are going to put yourself into a tailspin and you're going to mess things up on the long run. You got in, you got out, you got money, just get over it. It's done. Focus on the next trade. Now if you made a mistake when you're reviewing your trades, that's one thing. But if your trading plan, your system, your method, your indicator, whatever said this is the time to get out, and you got out and it kept going, that's okay. Just like if it went the other way, you'd be happy. So that's when you have to control yourself, your emotions, your reactions. That's something in your complete control. What's not in your control is what the market does next. So remember, where does pain come from? Not the market. It's your reaction to the market. And the other thing about being greedy is sometimes we're impatient and we want it now. I mean, if you sit here, if you would have bought in down at the launch pad and you could have waited, let's say, what, an hour, 3 hours? No, this is 15 minutes. So that would have been about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, an hour and a half. You would have been rewarded with about, 30 pips. It's like, is there any reason not to wait? I know everybody has to trade how they trade, but sometimes just sitting on your hands and waiting, moving up a time frame or two, can prevent you having a lot of hassle, a lot of strain because if you were long and then it starts to go against you, all that suffering. Then here, what happens? It comes back. I mean, how often do you see that? So the question is, number one, what made you pick the direction you picked, and then why did you stay in so long? I remember yesterday when Walmart and I were talking, the range was about 34, 35 pips. And today when we were talking, it was about the same thing. And he's like, about this time of day when we get the new H4, he goes, that's when price likes to expand. And sure enough, we got that 6 o'clock my time H4, and price did expand to the downside. It was funny because when we got in, I started trading long because I said, H4 probably wants to come back the other way. But what H4 wanted to do was come down and look at this nice return bar here and take out that open and then reverse because, in fact, there was a bar on the 1 minute chart. Let's see, I don't know if I can find it. Let's see. It's probably not going to show. Let me go to properties, turn off the auto scroll, and I can scroll back. I'm trying to remember where that big bar was. It's around, see, that one already got completed. If I remember correctly, it was 66.8 was the open. That's 64. Was it this one? 66.2. Now I should. No, it was this one. Yeah, 66.8. We were trading up here and doing some shorting. And I was like, I know it's got to get here. But you see, it was short, short, short. Then all of a sudden it reversed. And then here it came all the way back down. And sure enough, there's that 668. It took it out right in here. But it's one of those things where, I knew it. With the knew it is in quotes. But the thing is, could have traded that and put in this high at 83. I could have put in, say, a stop loss, maybe 33.90 or something, and just sit back and put my target on and say, let the market do its thing. And here was the same thing. All of a sudden, we get this big down bar. Once again, you say, okay, it's going to go up, and here it kind of, and it just, in those wave motions, but it took out that open. And right here, once again, big bar. Now, you might say, wait a minute, GRO, that's only a 5-pip bar. Yeah, but it's a 5-pip 1-minute bar. And look what happened. It took it out. And then again, look at this one. That's let's see. That's almost 6. That's 5.4 pips. Once again, it took it out. It took it out quick that time. This one took a little bit longer. But when you see those types of things, let me put the chart shift or auto scroll back on. When you see those types of things, you can take advantage. I mean, you see a 5 here. You don't see many 5s, so say anything bigger than 5 on the M5 range, you can almost consider that a return bar. Actually, this is on M1. On M1, you see in the smart range, we don't even have any 5 bars in the last 11 minutes or so. But it just goes to show how right here, target that 133.70, 70.8, 133.708. That's only a couple pips away, but pips is pips. Right here, you had an inside bar, outside bar, flip-flop box, indicator 2 turned magenta. Yeah, things say go south, but look at that. Yeah, all of a sudden it came right back. Previous H1 high. You can't, you just don't know what the market's going to do. That's why you have to have your plan ahead of time. At the lower high, there was a trigger right there. I was playing that yesterday, and price kept going against me. And then finally, I don't know, after about 10 or 12 trades, it tumbled and I raked in the pips. But you have to have a plan. You have to stick to it. You just can't ignore it, because if you get a signal and you don't take it, that might have been the signal that makes the difference, all the difference between profit and loss. I don't think we moved range at all, or not by much at least. We're still at 259. That's pretty low. Buyer strong control, buyer strong control, buyer strong control across the board here. So, fellow traders, the fastest 15 minutes in trading is just about over. I'm going to wish you all a fun and safe weekend. I hope you had a profitable week. And next Friday's Doomsday, the 3-eye Atlas is supposed to get too close. So anyway, Always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and trade the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.